GTA 3 Iceberg, here we go without wasting any time. The tip of the iceberg. Hidden posters. This has got to be one of the most known Easter eggs in GTA franchise. To find it, you have to go to the Bedford Point district of Staunton's Land. If you look around a bit, you will find a staircase car. Tries to move around a bit, then jumps on it, runs along the roof, and then jumps down. At this point, if you look around, you can find the sign. You know that you shouldn't actually be able to come here. Also, in the PSP version of Liberty City Stories, there is the saying, "Hello again." Welcome back, and in the PS2 ports of the same game, you really can't get enough of the alley, can you? Ghost Town is a hidden area that you can find in GTA 3. This is the backdrop instead of the one used exclusively for the introductory sequence to get to this section. You can try to get there with the duo if you have the chance to finally fly behind the mountain. In the definitive edition of GTA 3, the map is unfortunately completely removed. You can only see it using a mod. Dodo, which is a real flightless bird, is a small aircraft from GTA 3. Due to its truncated wings, flying and steering are very difficult. According to Rockstar Games, Dodo was intended to fly long distances since GTA 3 was supposed to focus solely on driving and shooting. Rumor has it that this was the case when flying was supported due to the cruel terrorist attack on 9/11 to prevent players from recording scenes from the game in which they fly into buildings. However, this has been refuted. The game files from the year 2000 have been found, and the shortened wings may have been used here too. A little tip from me to be able to fly the Dodo halfway. Elvis. Zombie Elvis Found is the headline of a newspaper that is lying on the ground all over Liberty City and Vice City. The newspaper is called Liberty Corp. The definitive edition shows the headline along with a black and white photo of the face of the deceased Elvis Presley, alluding to the hysteria of the alleged sightings of the late Elvis Presley in the 1970s and 1980s. By the way, only the newspaper clipping of the bank robbery from the opening sequence can be seen here, but it is still a very nice detail. Donald Love Disappearance. Donald Love Disappearance is a mission in GTA 3. Claude enters the roof of the building, looks around, and looks for Donald, but doesn't find it anywhere. Only an artistically decorated wooden box can be found on the edge of the water lily, which is opened and empty. There is a rumor that the mission is actually to blow up the Law of Media building together, but this was removed from the game by 9/11. Claude Voice. In the actual story about GTA 3, we then played the game GTA Liberty City Stories for a long time, and the fans asked themselves why the main character in the game remained mute. After all, the other characters in the game world have received a proper voiceover. It takes a little more than 10 years until Rockstar Games comes out with the language why Claude didn't receive a voice. The decision for the mute hero was therefore based on so-called production-related reasons. Or, in other words, you simply had other problems and no more time for Claude's voiceover. You justify yourself by saying that people can identify better with the main character when playing, but hey, I think it's here for me because of time constraints. Carcer City. It is a city from the game Manhunt, which was published by Rockstar Games, as we all know how controversial it was. In the radio station Lips from OS6, the reporter reported that Police Chief Gary of Carcer City was acquitted of corruption charges in a court hearing. It was also said that the city should be in the immediate vicinity of Liberty City. Interestingly, we also get references to the game Manhunt in GTA San Andreas and other games. There is an incoming flight from Carcer in GTA 4. After running 300 kilometers, you get the reward miles from Liberty City to Carcer City, and in GTA 5, Michael mentions that he committed his first robbery in 1988 in a suburb of City. Claude kills Maria. Yes. In the last mission of GTA 3 with the title The Handover, we go to the villa and thus the headquarters of the Colombian cartel. With a handover of money, we are supposed to free Maria from Catalina. At the end of this mission, Claude walks on a street near the dam while Maria says, "What does that mean?" "A fingernail is broken, or my hair no longer sits properly after the picture goes black. You only have one shot." It would definitely be quite funny. Unfortunately, this was never confirmed. Kids in GTA. Everyone has already noticed that there are no children in any GTA. I think it's interesting that exactly this feature existed in the beta of GTA 3 but was then quickly discarded, and in my opinion, that's a good thing. The games are now known for the fact that quickly dispatched ones can simply be turned over when children are running around on the street. Well, I think you know that Rockstar rightly removed this feature. Violence in the beta version. As you can see in the video, GTA 3 didn't always look the way we know it today, and there were other changes outside of the graphics that Rockstar had to make. So the depiction of violence was much more brutal than we know it today. You could cut off pretty much every limb, and there was just a spray of blood. Pretty blatant, actually. Or, of course, violence is part of this game. I wouldn't want to play blank game either. Pedestrians. In GTA 3, you can watch civilians who occasionally run into the water and drown for no reason at all. The AI was not programmed to the point where it recognizes the water and avoids it accordingly. Unfortunately, it runs like a common thread through the entire series. Zaibatsu Corporation. This cooperation is a criminal organization from GTA 2 that was able to act as a conglomerate. The pharmaceutical company describes itself as the last privately owned company in the world in GTA 2. The gang appears throughout the game because they are represented in all districts. They are in a bitter gang war because of business interests in foreign areas. They goes and fights there against all of the known crime syndicates in the city. The organization was originally supposed to also be represented in GTA 3 and have a lot of influence on the game. In the original version of the game, we also see advertisements and cardboard boxes from the gang. Unfortunately, they didn't make it into the game, in the end. Darkel. Darkel was taken out of the game during the development of GTA 3. So little is known about him other than that he was said to have been a homeless revolutionary who came from the streets and vowed to bring down the economic city. His name only appears in the credits and in the manual. In one of his missions, you should have one ice cream truck there to attract passers-by and then blow up the truck. Also, in the original version, one of your orders when there were still children in GTA 3 was supposed to blow up a school bus occupied by them. This what the guys at Rockstar did at the beginning. Out of 5 missions, 3 or 4 pieces were chained, until, at the end, they deleted it completely from the game, because it didn't really fit in. In any case, it was right. Ghost Boat. Ghost is a speedboat from GTA 3 that is complete, at least in the PC version. It is black, and has claws from the PS2 version. This boat is based on the Predator, but the Ghost is the civilian version of the police boat, and therefore does not have a submachine gun on board. And no, even if some of you think so, the boat is not a ghost ship or anything else. This is just a unique vehicle in GTA 3, but I still think that is great, Salvatore Leone Ghost. This myth could very likely be one of the first to come out of a GTA game. The myth is about Salvatore Leone, the leader of the criminal Leone family, of which Claude is in the mission but is himself murdered. Players have reported that they have seen his ghost near his home on Portland Beach. Most reports describe his ghost generally as a full-bodied gray silhouette. Strangely enough, the 2 Mafia sentinels remain parked in front of his villa after his death, even though he doesn't live there at all. In addition, the piano music grinder can be heard in his house even after his death. However, this is probably because the piano music in his villa is set as ambient noise, and the game designers never bothered to set it after his death. Unfortunately, there are no proven facts about this theory, but it's still pretty scary. Animals. Animals in GTA 3 have been repeatedly observed, alleged animal sightings. But this is still an unconfirmed myth. Only seagulls or fish can be found in the game, like in the gold fishing mission, in which whales partner fishes with grenades. Why not? Otherwise, players also say they have spotted Bigfoot. We are already here, and GTA San Andreas, or what of course, is that also unconfirmed? Marty Chonks. Marty Chonks is the owner Ask Dog Food Meat Factory from GTA 3 who calls Claude one day because of big money to do some contract killer missions. In the end finds out that his wife is cheating on him and wants to end the affair but is killed by his wife's secret lover. Marty is a serial killer because the human remains are used to make dog food. Tom Novi in the beta version. Tom Novi is a DJ and was originally supposed to be a character along with his song Back to the Streets in GTA 3 appear for unknown reasons. Neither the character nor the song in the game ever appeared. Only the model and texture are in the game files. But it is still a bit mysterious. The Ratman. It is rumored that Ratman is also in the GTA 3 and appears. Alleged sightings are here, but to a much lesser extent. It is assumed that he is at home in the subway tunnels. Should the player see him, he walks towards him and shouts, A reference to this theory should be given by the poster, and end to end with the inscription read this. However, this myth was never confirmed, and there are Butler. The Butler was a planned character from GTA 3 whose textured model was left in the game files, but was deleted from the finished game for unknown reasons, even if there was nothing about him and his planned character and had role in the plot. Bloody Cell. During the mission to free the Kanbu, the player is instructed to free Kanbu from prison. When the player arrives outside of Kanbu's cell, the sound of a man being beaten can be heard. This is probably him. As soon as the car bomb is detonated, the cell wall collapses, and the inside of the cell can be seen. On one side of the wall in the cell, there's a lot of blood with some bloody handprints on the wall. It is believed that this is also intended to indicate police brutality in America. The same blood texture is also used in the bathroom of Apartment 3C in GTA Vice City. Serial killer. The serial killer or serial killer can be found on Portland Island, mainly in the areas like Salvatore's house. He wears a long trench coat, boots, and a hat. He is called a serial killer, was similar to a pad in GTA San Andreas, who is also called a serial killer. Players have reported that the serial killer would attack them unprovoked, and without any warning, some players report that also with weapons. Well, the pedestrian exists, but it has been proven that he is not a serial killer, but just a normal pedestrian. Curtly. Curtly was a character planned for GTA 3. Almost nothing is known about him, except that he may have had contact with Darkel recently. He is only mentioned in the contributor list of the manual. In the game files themselves, there is no clue in the form of dialogue or texture that could indicate this character. Shoreside Vale House. Despite the fact that the safe house is a residential building in a busy part of the city, no one other than Cloud himself can be found in the area. The eerie desolation has led several players to theorize that there is something paranormal there that scares away passers-by lives and supposedly makes demonic noises and causes Cloud to hear voices in his head. However, there was never any solid evidence of this. They have heard growling, and the voices are supposed to sound something like laughing. The area also happens to be held by the Diablo gang, which means devil, which leads many to believe that it could be a demon. The area is not normally visited by players, and the neighboring buildings play music to distract players from the demonic noises. Distant Eyes. Not much is known about the Distant Eyes, as it is an extremely unknown and old myth that is rarely mentioned in some of the game's forums. Players have reported seeing a pair of glowing yellow eyes. They are watching the player from a distance in the sea and may belong to an even more monstrous and enigmatic Rin creature. It is currently unknown what type of creature the alleged eyes belong to. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel and let me in the comments that do you want to see more of the Iceberg videos about any game, mainly GTA. I'm waiting for your feedback. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and have a nice day. See ya.